Welcome back everybody. I already done a video with 2 months of my Sony ZV-1 and honestly the bad stuff of this camera is definitely the shaking video in every situation, even in active mode, stabilization. I already showed that the only possible solution is a gimbal, and here the FX is definitely a huge step forward in stabilization, cinematic, and you can create a lot of video which are way better than the stabilization of the camera and whatever you can get from post like Final Cut or DaVinci Studio or everything else. This is the video. I put the link for the video itself and to my review of the several gimbal I have. This is not sponsored, I'm not. Now, how to fix this crappy, shaky video from unedited portion, unstabilized of ZV-1? Sony came with a possible solution, this software, the Catalyst Browser, which is a step-by-step way to fix the shaking of this camera. This is one of the few that has a gyroscope, and you see the result here where you can fix a lot from the shaky original footage, and the result is better with no stabilization at all because it takes the information from the gyroscope and remove the shaking. In this footage you can see that the results are almost equal in post-production with Catalyst and with post-production software. Is indeed a bit better with Catalyst because you reduce the cropping factor. Now let's see how the software works. So this is the main screen. After you install, you have your footages, and this is nice to have a lot of information on the side. You can see all the data when it has been shot, what are the frame rate, etc. It's important to see that the best result is when the image stabilization is completely disabled, so no standard, no active mode, but just disabled, and when you have a quick shutter speed. This is important because it's the way that the software works better, and we see in a minute how to set up it. Now, how does it work? In the top right corner you see there is a little box that shows which footage can be stabilized, and you go just straight there, you click stabilize, and then you go in manual mode and set up the level of stabilization. Usually something around 90% is good because of course this is going to crop and reduce the quality. In terms of imaging quality, I notice a bit of less contrast or less exposure, so you can fix in post. Careful not to click this because otherwise you just avoid any crop, and you are basically with the original footage even after the long export process. Now when you set the export, you will have to wait a long time because for something like 1 minute of shot can take up to 5 minutes of stabilization. It's a long process, you have to do one by one, and is definitely long, painful, because it's just before start doing any editing with any software. So you have to process one by one. You can't do any batch because at the moment this is what the software works. Maybe in the future they will allow for some batches, but it's simply in this way. So I'm going to show you in a minute what is the result again. The results are quite good. This is what you get, and is definitely good compared to the original footage and compared to the stabilization from Final Cut. To achieve the same level of stabilization, you have a bigger crop in Final Cut or any other editing. You can see in the next clip just here. So this is the two with Catalyst and the original, and in a second you see the three with the Final Cut. So is for sure more cropped in, and in some cases can be a problem. So the software is free from Sony, but in any case you invest a lot of time in making this ready. So again, my recommendation is to go with gimbal. It's less handy, it's less easy to use, you have to bring something else more with you, but it's definitely a way better choice compared to this software. Thank you for following, and see you next.